such a broken person, and I didn't even realize it at that time. Being a YouTuber has been such a big part of my identity to other people. I'm just trying to like forget who might be watching this. Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be an updated Christian testimony. I'm sorry about my hair. I just got out of the shower and this week has just been super busy. So anytime that I have the ability to film, I'm totally gonna take it. A lot of you guys are probably coming from my Christian Q&A video, and my heart literally melted when I saw all the kind feedback from that video and just how well it did. Usually when I post Christian content, I actually lose subscribers. It doesn't get that many views. Obviously, my videos shouldn't just be posted for views, but it was just crazy to me to see that I was attracting Christians to my channel and also encouraging people who are non-Christians. As you read from the title, today I'm going to be telling you guys about my updated testimony. My last testimony was like over a year ago, and I feel like a lot of things have changed and there are a lot of new things that I want to talk about, and I was a little bit hesitant to film this video, not because of people online, but sometimes I worry about being vulnerable on camera because people at school. But I'm starting to realize God's plan for me is so much bigger than just impressing like 220 people through a video. So I'm going to try to be in a mindset where I'm gonna lay it all out there. I mean, obviously there are a couple of things in my testimony that I will be leaving out just because I'm not ready to share it yet, and it's very personal. Maybe one day I'll be able to share it, and I really hope I will, but at this current like stage in my life, I just don't think it's the right time to share this very specific detail. That's all I have to say for the intro, and let's just get on into the video. So I actually made some notes on my computer. I don't like making videos like scripted, but I feel like I need to have some notes to outline this because last time I did a testimony, like I was just kind of everywhere and I was just throwing things. So to give you some backstory, I grew up as a Christian. My parents actually did not grow up as Christians, but my dad converted and my mom converted along with him. And honestly, as a child, well, I'm still a child, but as a younger child, church was more of a social setting for me, and I knew the stories and that was interesting to me, but it really wasn't the center of my life. Church literally just felt like 2 hours out of my week, and it was nothing more than that. I was also a super negative kid growing up, and I'm like not even joking about that. My basketball coaches when I was in elementary school and my ballet teachers would talk to my mom about my negative attitude. It was just always so hard for me to stop complaining and to see the bright side of situations, which is so weird for me to think about now because I feel like God has really worked through my heart and made me such a more positive person. I just don't complain as much anymore, and I feel like I look at life through a, you know, glass half full type of perspective. The first time I was like really exposed to passionate Christianity was when my mom sent me to Christian camp when I was 10. And when I heard that I was being sent to a Christian camp, I was like, I'd rather not, because I just thought it was like praying every day and reading the Bible. And now like when I hear about that, I'm like, yes, like I want to be part of that. But like at that time, I was so engulfed with pop culture, you know, Disney Channel. I'm not saying Disney Channel is a bad thing, but like it was not good for me. Let's just say that. I was just so engulfed in all these worldly things that the idea of going to Christian camp like just disgusted me. That year that I first went, I was just shocked with how Christian people interact with each other. I felt so loved in my cabin. Since I was younger, it was a little harder to apply things that I learned at camp to my daily life, and throughout the year like I became more worldly. Like I was just coming back to my ways, and then I'd go to camp again the next summer. It was like a revival, and then throughout the year I would get more worldly. It was like my parents were spending thousands of dollars for years to send me to camp, but I was just staying in the same position every year. The Christian camp effects would, you know, rub off on me. And I never really read the Bible, which I feel like is a big part, because when you read the Bible every day, it really applies to your life. But this last summer was my 4th time going to this camp. Usually I'd go to this camp for 2 weeks, but I went for 4, and I feel like the impact was just, it was so powerful. I actually came to camp as such a broken person, and I didn't even realize it at that time. I was so worldly, so engulfed with social media, you know, YouTube. Every single year I went to camp, I had a YouTube channel, but like it was 2019 where my channel like really blew up. It didn't necessarily get to my head, but I think that when your channel grows, it becomes a bigger part of your life and you think about it more, and I think it was becoming the center of my life. I get into a lot of arguments with my mom about like wanting to meet internet friends and not treating her well, or just dealing with partiality, being so engulfed with social media that I was realizing that I'm not not spending time with my real life friends. And I love my internet friends and I appreciate them so much, but I was making other people's life the center of mine and my social media presence the center of my life. It was really hard for me the first 2 weeks of camp to really be open to learn new things about scripture. I would just reject things. For example, on modesty, like I used to be so frustrated about that. I was like, it's cute, like why can't I wear it? I think the world paints this picture like, just do you. Do what makes you happy. And I really took that to heart. I started actually taking time alone to read the Bible. Every single year I was being impacted by my counselors. My counselors were teaching me all these things and I was being moved by them, and my counselors were wonderful this year. They definitely moved me. But I think the biggest thing was I actually would go out of my own way to read the Bible by myself. I think my view on so many things changed because I was listening to other people and I was getting annoyed at other Christians preaching about like modesty, no sex before marriage, and that was just really frustrating me. I feel like when it comes from people, you take it differently. But then when I read the Bible, I realized like the Bible is the same in all parts of the world. It's the same in the South, the same in the liberal area that I live in. And that just changed things for me because I was like, I don't have to just listen to pastors. So another thing that I struggled with at camp was I wanted to quit basketball during camp. I think camp was just bringing up a lot of things for me and I was like questioning a lot of my hobbies. A lot of you know, like I mentioned basketball in a lot of my videos. I play basketball every single day. I have like school practices all the time, town practices all the time, and basically there's just not a day where there's not a basketball in my hand, which is crazy for me to like look back at this summer. Like this last 6 months of my life have been so transformative. Like I can't even describe it. The reason why I wanted to quit basketball was I was in such a toxic mindset in basketball, and like I don't want to say it took everything out of me because basketball wasn't something that I thought about every day. So to give you some backstory, I played basketball for a couple years when I was in like kindergarten, you know, first grade, and then I started doing cheerleading, like competitive cheer, and I stopped doing like sports if that makes sense, and I got back into like basketball, soccer, and I was very behind. I didn't do anything to catch up. I try out for my town team every single year and I wouldn't make it every single year, so I do like other teams, and basically I wasn't practicing basketball every day and I'd forget about it. I wouldn't be thinking about basketball, but then when I got on the court, I just feel this extreme anxiety because it was like procrastinating a test, and then once you have it, you're like, oh wait, like why didn't I study for this? And that cycle just continued on forever. A lot of the teams that I was part of, I was always like the lower end of the team, which was a good learning experience because being with people who are better than you at basketball really helps you actually become a better player. But I feared the court. I always feel so stupid when I'm talking about like sports anxiety or like stress. No one ever talks about it, especially girls. I'm just trying to like forget who might be watching this and just be honest about it. I feel like people constantly say if something's not making you happy anymore, like get rid of it, quit it. And my counselors were telling me that too. They were like, why keep on doing this if you are not enjoying it? Take pride in what you enjoy and be able to let other things go, because I hate quitting things. To me it feels like failure, and this year I really learned that I can't juggle all these things. I have this video of me talking about like my hobbies, how I started to find my self-value in them. Another big part of my testimony is finding my value in being God's daughter. I don't know if other YouTubers can relate to this, or I bet anyone can relate to this because we're all like known for different things. I feel like being a YouTuber has been such a big part of my identity to other people. Not necessarily my close friends, like a lot of parents, whenever they talk to my mom, it's like kind of always about that, and I don't mind that because I totally understand it. I feel like, why do I sound so sad? I'm sorry. But it felt like that was the only like good thing I was at that other people recognized me for, and I don't need that validation. Like I know I get good grades. I know I can play a heck lot of instruments. I just didn't want people to think I was one-dimensional. So I wanted to do all these different hobbies, you know, be athletic, be musical. But as my counselors were telling me like, oh, just quit this, like it's not making you happy anymore, it's totally okay to end this journey, I felt God telling me, give it another chance, try it in the fall, and if you still are not enjoying yourself, then you don't have to do it anymore. And I was like, I want to listen to this voice. I prayed about it all night at camp and I kind of like forgot about that. But then once I got got back home from camp. This is gonna sound so like stupid, but it's actually such a big part of my testimony. But I was scrolling on YouTube, and in my recommended box I got a video, I'll put it right over here, and it was like a no days off of a 14-year-old basketball prodigy. I've gotten like basketball videos in my recommended box a few times, but I've never clicked on them. I don't think I'd be clicking on that video without God setting a fire in my heart, and I truly feel like he set that video out there for me. And I clicked on the video and I started watching it, and I don't know why. Any other time, like, I would have just maybe watched 30 seconds of that video and just moved on, but it inspired me so much because I realized hard work is really what gets you to where you want to go. Ever since I saw that video, I've been practicing every single day, and I prayed every time before practice that I would be in a right mindset, be ready to work hard, be ready to fail, and not get down on myself. I pray like everything basketball related. This year I prayed that I'd make a few teams, and I've made all of them, and I truly think it's not God writing on the evaluator sheets, put Annie on the team, but it's God putting a motivation in my heart to practice. Like, I pray this prayer, like, give me the motivation to practice. God can help push my legs up to practice, but I need to like grab the ball, if that makes sense. And I actually have a prayer journal. I write in it pretty often, and I write down my prayer requests. I'm just super honest and raw in my prayer journal. I recommend everyone to have a prayer journal because I feel like you can never see a direct way that God's answering your prayers when you don't write it down or have some type of documentation. Because I read prayers that I had from months ago, and I see the way God has answered it and how faithful he is. Sometimes it's not in the way I want it to be answered. Sometimes I say, like, for example, if I like someone, God, I really like this person. If you know there's better for me, show me that. Or like guard my heart. So I guess basketball is where my testimony ends, but through this, there's so many verses that I tell myself actually during games, because like when I'm panting down the court, like I need something to keep me going. I'll leave some verses up here. They're truly so moving and so powerful and so helpful. I feel like I'm on good teams for basketball, but I'm always on the lower end of the spectrum, and that can be really hard, just like confidence wise, but I truly feel so thankful, and I always try to be grateful for the position I'm in, because I truly don't think without like that video in my recommended box, without me praying to God about like basketball and bringing all those like worries and anxieties to him, like I'd be in the position that I am today. And I know that there are so many people that would just kill for a spot on the bench. Maybe not everyone's gonna know my full journey with basketball. Maybe people don't know that I've only started practicing in the last 6 months, but I just try to be so grateful. Every game feels like a blessing from God. I think that's why I talk about it a lot, and I think that's why I play it every day. It was not a big part of my life like maybe 6 months ago, and my friends probably know that too because I talk about it a lot more now. Okay, whenever I film these videos, I get on a tangent and I just like forget what my testimony was actually about. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you gained something from it. I feel so moved by God. I know that like I'm not really showing it. I sometimes feel like a pressure to like cry in these videos, which is so stupid. I think like biologically or whatever, just crying just doesn't come easily to me. I mean, I'm not saying crying is something you want to do, but sometimes it's like appropriate to cry. Just know that I am very moved inside. Don't forget to follow my Instagram and let me know if you want to get some more Christian videos. I'll be releasing another one if this video hit 10K likes. That's all I have to say, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.